In your fourth year, you may be one of the privileged students who live here on the lawn. In these rooms, from the days of Thomas Jefferson, university students have enjoyed the simple life. Each room has its own fireplace, its old mantels, its feeling of closeness with the past.
Life at the University of Virginia in 1951 mirrored the relatively peaceful post-war period of American life.
But the university, the city of Charlottesville, and the state of Virginia were still a part of the American South, where Jim Crow laws, racial hatred, and increasing violence made for dangerous times for Black Americans. It was into this climate that Walter Ridley started his journey.
Ridley was uniquely qualified to deal with the demands of being the first Black student at the university. At 41 years old, he was more a peer of his teachers than his fellow students. A mature, accomplished man, Ridley's sole focus was working hard and earning his degree. As he commuted from his home in Petersburg for his classes, he was spared the potentially difficult task of living on grounds. Still, Ridley's circumstances made for some tense moments.
He had to take a statistics class. It was required, though he had taken lots of statistics classes before, and in fact, he taught statistics.
One of his professors had asked him to come up in front of the class and demonstrate something on the board in front of the class, and as he was working, he felt some eyes on him.
And he couldn't make out who they were. But he now was teaching this point and was frightened about who these people were.
But he continued to work and wasn't sure what he would see when he came outside of the building.
So he finished teaching. He was congratulated by the professor on doing a good job, and the class then ended. Students begin to file out. Dad decides that he will let the classroom empty and he's going to be the last one to go out. He decides not to say anything to anybody about what he's worried about. As he walks out, he finds that there are the janitorial staff, African American workers from the university, who have come to see Mr. Ridley, who is the student here. And as he walked out, they parted and they said to Dad, "Oh, Mr. Ridley, we're so glad you're here."
The challenges of being the first Black student did not keep Walter Ridley from becoming an exemplary honors student. He received the grade of A in all of his courses except for one B+, and became the first Black student initiated into a university honorary society.
On June 15, 1953, Ridley stood poised to receive his doctorate of education from the University of Virginia, making him not only the school's first Black graduate, but the first Black to receive an academic doctoral degree from a traditional Southern white college or university.
And it was a glorious June, Virginia day. And I remember my mother's sense of happiness and pride. I remember there being photographers, and I remember there being applause when Dad was handed his degree. It was just a peaceful, beautiful, fulfilled day.
As for Ridley himself, he would choose to emphasize the positives of his time at the university. "If anyone gave any sign that I was not welcome," he would later state, "I was not conscious of it." Grandson of slaves, husband and father, educator, Dr. Walter Ridley had made history. Now it would be seen if his achievement was the ending of a personal tale or the start of a much bigger story.